So there I was, standing in the Pampas, Argentina's legendary grasslands, where your phone doesn't just lose signal, it forgets what a signal is. My guide Mateo grinned as he welcomed me to a field of grass that stretched into infinity. I'd come seeking adventure, a break from the noise of modern life, hoping to become one with the horse, master the grill, and maybe look cool in a beret. In my mind, I was Clint Eastwood on holiday. In reality, I was more the clumsy, the confused, and the covered in dust. The Pampas doesn't care about your romantic notions or your new hiking boots. It's been here for centuries, and you're just a temporary, slightly panicked guest. My inspiration? A documentary showing stoic gauchos riding across majestic landscapes. They seemed so free, so connected. What the documentary didn't mention was the overwhelming amount of nothing. The silence is its own character, loud, almost unsettling. For the next few weeks, this was my world. No deadlines, no traffic, and most terrifyingly, no decent internet. My mission: survive, learn, and figure out how these Argentine cowboys made it all look so effortless. I was a city boy, dropped into a world ruled by the sun, the seasons, and very opinionated cows. This wasn't just a vacation, it was a full-blown experiment. And like any good experiment, things were about to get weird, messy, and hilarious. The journey to the estancia started with a normal bus ride from Buenos Aires, until the road ended abruptly. We switched to a pickup truck held together by rust and hope, bouncing along a dirt track that was more suggestion than road. When the truck could go no further, Mateo appeared, on horseback of course. Next to him was my horse, Diablo. The name should have been a warning. Diablo looked at me like he could smell the city on me. As I tried to mount, he sighed, deeply disappointed. My grand arrival was less triumphant entrance, more wobbly, undignified procession. Mateo glided across the plains. I bounced like a sack of potatoes. My backpack, full of useless city things, kept smacking me in the head. The gauchos greeted us with polite faces, but I could see the amusement in their eyes. They'd seen my type before, the tourist who thinks being a cowboy is all about the hat. The estancia was beautiful, in a rugged, no-nonsense way. Whitewashed buildings, a massive grill, and endless land. The air smelled of wood smoke, leather, and manure, a very authentic smell. This was home now, where my best city skill, finding brunch on Google Maps, was useless. Diablo sighed again, as if to say, "You're not going to last the week." I started to wonder if he was right, but there was no turning back. The adventure had officially begun. Gaucho life isn't 9 to 5, it's sun up to sundown and then some. The day starts before sunrise with the world waking you, roosters, dogs, horses. First order of business, mate. It's not just a drink, it's a ritual, shared in a circle with strict rules. After mate, it's off to the horses. These aren't pets, they're partners, cared for before breakfast. Saddling up is an art. My attempts usually ended with me tangled in the stirrups, Diablo judging me. The work is relentless. Mending fences, herding cattle, tending animals. Lunch is cooked over an open fire. Meat, bread, maybe some vegetables. Everything tastes better with smoke and dust. Conversations are slow, deliberate about weather, cattle, horses, a language of the land I struggled to learn. The afternoon brings more work under a sun that feels like it's trying to cook you. The landscape is beautiful but harsh. No shade, just endless grass and sky. By sunset, you're exhausted, but the day isn't over. Horses to unsaddle, tools to clean, dinner to prepare. It's a cycle of hard, honest labor, repeated for generations. This life strips away the unnecessary, leaving only what's essential. For a city boy like me, it was a humbling education. I was learning slowly what it meant to be a gaucho. And I was starting to appreciate the simplicity, even if I was still terrible at it. My journey to becoming a gaucho was more blooper reel than heroic transformation. First challenge. Diablo and I had a communication breakdown. I thought I was in charge. He knew better. Tasked with rounding up cows, I managed to steer us straight into thorny bushes. Mateo had to rescue me, barely hiding his smile. Then came the lasso, boleadoras. In a gaucho's hands, it's a precision tool. In mine, it was a self-tangling disaster. I hogtied myself and had to be rescued by a 10-year-old who just shook his head. My cooking skills? Equally disastrous. Entrusted with bread on the campfire, I burned it into a black meteorite. They never let me near the fire again, except to fetch wood. The cattle drive was my most humbling moment. We had to move a herd across a river. The other gauchos moved with grace. I got Diablo stuck in the mud, then slid off into the cold, muddy water. I emerged covered in slime as everyone, cows, horses, gauchos, stared at me. Then, laughter echoed across the Pampas. In that moment, I finally provided some genuine entertainment. I was the comic relief, and honestly, it felt like a rite of passage. Every mistake was a lesson, every laugh a welcome into the group. I was failing spectacularly, but I was learning. And slowly, I was starting to belong. Even if only as the punchline. That was enough for me. Growing up on Hollywood westerns, I pictured cowboys as lone rangers. Big hats, pointy boots, always ready for a shootout. The Argentine gaucho? A different breed. It's like comparing a rock star to a classical musician. The American cowboy has his 10-gallon hat. The gaucho has a beret, less sunblock, more effortless cool. Cowboy fashion is rugged individualism, denim, chaps, giant belt buckles. Gauchos wear bombachas, baggy trousers tucked into soft boots, topped with a poncho and a faison, a massive knife. The cowboy myth is about taming the wild. The gaucho works in partnership with the land. He's not fighting nature, he's part of it, reading the weather, knowing every horse, moving cattle with patience. The Hollywood cowboy is a solitary figure, the gaucho is deeply communal. The mate circle, shared meals, evenings of guitar and song. It's all about community. They work, eat, and relax together. There's a warmth and camaraderie I didn't expect. One is a myth of rugged independence. The other, a reality of shared existence. And honestly, I think the gauchos have it right. In the Pampas, the asado isn't just a meal, it's a sacred ritual, the heart of gaucho culture. Forget burgers and hot dogs. Here, meat is king, and the asador, the grill master, is a high priest. The process starts hours before eating, a fire built with real wood, burned down to perfect embers. The meat, massive cuts of beef, ribs, sausages, and mysterious organs, all seasoned with just salt. The asador arranges everything on the grill with surgical precision, knowing exactly where the heat is right. Then you wait. The meat cooks for hours, kissed by smoke and patience. While it cooks, people gather, sharing stories, wine, and mate. The anticipation builds, the smell fills the air, and you don't dare rush the asador. When it's finally ready, the feast begins. Sausages, ribs, steak, all served on wooden boards. You eat until you can't, then eat a little more. The asado is more than food. It's the glue of the community. Stories are told, friendships forged, and the day's hard work is celebrated. It's the soul of the Pampas, served on a platter. For a city boy like me, it was a revelation. I'd never tasted anything like it, and I'd never felt so welcome. The asado was a lesson in patience, community, and joy, and I savored every bite. Living in the Pampas is like joining a secret club with unwritten rules you learn by messing up. Rule 1, never complain. Not about heat, cold, dust, or sore muscles. Complaining is for city folk. Here, hardship is just part of the landscape, met with quiet stoicism. Personal space, forget it. The mate ritual means sharing a straw with everyone. Refusing is a major blunder. Conversations are slow, meandering. You don't rush or interrupt, you listen, really listen. Self-reliance is a necessity. If something breaks, you fix it. No handyman to call. The gauchos are veterinarians, mechanics, carpenters, and chefs all in one. Their wisdom comes from a lifetime of doing, not reading manuals. But the most important rule is respect for elders, animals, the land, and traditions. It's shown in small daily actions, the way a horse is handled, a meal shared, a story listened to. I learned humility, patience, and the value of being part of something bigger. The Pampas taught me more than any classroom ever could. I was still an outsider, but I was learning to belong, and I was grateful for every lesson, even the muddy ones. Beneath the dusty clothes and quiet demeanor, the gaucho carries a deep pride and dignity. This isn't just a job, it's an identity, a heritage worn as a badge of honor. They're the living embodiment of Argentina's history, keepers of a flame passed down for generations. Their resilience is incredible. They adapt, endure, and hold on to traditions because they believe in their value. I saw this soul in quiet moments. Mateo talking to his horse, men singing folk songs by the fire. The milongas, songs of struggle, triumph, and love for the Pampas, are the gaucho's soul set to music. In those moments, I wasn't just a tourist, I was a guest, witnessing something authentic and beautiful. The gaucho's freedom isn't about doing whatever you want, it's freedom from the unnecessary. It's knowing who you are, where you come from, and what matters. A life stripped to essentials, hard work, community, respect, and a deep connection to the land. It's a way of life our busy world desperately needs to remember. Did I become a gaucho? Absolutely not. My only mastery was falling off a horse with style. I left with sore muscles, mosquito bites, and a newfound respect for anyone making a living on horseback, but I took home something more valuable. A lesson in a different kind of wealth, measured in skill, community, and time. The gauchos I met were the richest people I've known, with knowledge, resilience, and a strong community. I'll never forget mate at sunrise, 100 cattle moving as one, or the sound of a guitar by the fire. Diablo, my horse, was a tough critic, but he put up with me. The Pampas taught me humility, strength in silence, and beauty in simplicity. I may have left, but a piece of that vast, quiet land will stay with me forever. And maybe one day I'll learn to sit on a horse, though probably not.